I would like him to make his announcement already so we can finish the schedule. Okay, those are the actual words of NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. I mean, just think about that for a second. We are looking at a scenario that is so completely unprecedented. One single player is literally holding up the entire National Basketball Association schedule release. The networks are calling, the teams are pacing the floors, and everybody is just waiting on one man. Welcome to The Explainer. If you're a focused learner trying to cut through all the crazy noise out there, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're breaking down the high-stakes drama, the total front office paralysis, and this wild, intense player-led recruitment that's completely defining LeBron James's 2026 free agency. This is Decision 4.0, and the ripple effects, they're absolutely massive. All right, let's just dive right into our roadmap for today's Explainer. We're going to cover 1, the royal holdup, 2, players playing general manager, 3, a storybook Cleveland homecoming, 4, the Golden State connection, 5, the dark horse contenders, and finally 6, the Kings' final decision.
Starting off with Section 1, the royal holdup.
So it's been over 2 weeks since LeBron informed the Los Angeles Lakers he wouldn't be returning. And the state of limbo across the league right now is, well, it's truly staggering. To put this into perspective, we're talking about $76 billion. That's billion with a B. The NBA has this massive new television deal, and practically speaking, it's just sitting on hold. The schedule makers literally can't map out opening week. They can't set those highly coveted Christmas Day matchups because TV networks absolutely need to know where the game's biggest draw is actually going to be playing. And honestly, this just brilliantly illustrates the sheer gravity of LeBron's star power. The guy is 41 years old. He is entering his 24th season. Yet coming off a campaign where he was dropping nearly 24 points, 8 assists, and grabbing 4.8 rebounds a night, all while shooting over 43% from deep, by the way, he remains the single most polarizing, influential, and needle-moving superstar in the entire sport. Entire franchises have literally paused their off-seasons for a player turning 42. It's wild. Moving on to Section 2, players playing general manager.
Because LeBron's camp has been so incredibly quiet, this whole courtship has completely spilled out into the public eye. Now we've got current NBA stars straight up acting as front office recruiters. Take James Harden, for example. Speaking recently at Fanatics Fest in New York City, Harden didn't mince words at all. He said, "I hope you come to Cleveland. It's a perfect storybook finish." And you know what makes this pitch so compelling? Harden just opted out of a $42 million player option. He's an unrestricted free agent right now himself. Reports are actually suggesting he might be holding off on signing his own multi-year deal just to make sure the Cavaliers have the financial flexibility to offer LeBron a competitive contract. Talk about commitment.
And look, Harden is definitely not alone in Cleveland. His backcourt partner, Donovan Mitchell, enthusiastically doubled down on that exact pitch. His message to LeBron was pretty straightforward. It's home, we've done it once, let's do it again. Simple as that. Having actual franchise cornerstones directly appealing to you through the media, that shows exactly how badly these contenders believe LeBron is the one missing piece to their championship puzzle. But of course, the recruitment fervor isn't just limited to the logical frontrunners. The rumor mill has gotten so incredibly out of hand that when a fan asked Anthony Davis if there was any chance LeBron might come to the Washington Wizards, AD actually played coy and teased, "Maybe, we had some conversations." Now, obviously, that might just be him having a little fun with a fan, but it proves that literally everyone is shooting their shot right now. When you look at the heavy hitters vying for his signature, it reads like an absolute who's who of modern basketball royalty. You've got Mitchell and Harden in Cleveland, Curry and Green in Golden State, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Bam Adebayo down in Miami, and Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball in Minnesota. Literally any team with championship aspirations is rolling out their heaviest artillery to recruit this guy. Which brings us to Section 3, a storybook Cleveland homecoming. Let's break down the actual contenders, starting with what a lot of people see as the emotional frontrunner. For Cleveland, the narrative perfection is just undeniable. As a pro, he'd be joining a proven win-now core of Mitchell, Harden, Evan Mobley, and Jarrett Allen. That's a team that just made the Eastern Conference Finals. He would bring the exact playmaking, size, and playoff experience they so sorely lacked when they got swept by the Knicks last year. On the flip side, the cons, it requires uprooting his family from Southern California, adapting to entirely new teammates on the fly, and playing under head coach Kenny Atkinson for the very first time. So it's definitely a high reward but high adjustment scenario. Next up, Section 4, the Golden State connection. Bouncing over to the West Coast, the Warriors have long been viewed as this incredibly intriguing destination, mostly because of LeBron's deep mutual respect for his longtime rival, Stephen Curry. The pros here are super appealing. I mean, LeBron just won Olympic gold in Paris playing under Steve Kerr alongside Steph, which created this really powerful bond. Plus, from a lifestyle perspective, playing for the Warriors would theoretically let him keep his roots in Southern California and just commute. But we gotta look at the cons, and they are very real. Golden State's roster is incredibly expensive and, frankly, rapidly aging. With a 38-year-old Curry and a 36-year-old Jimmy Butler on the books, LeBron would have to take a massive pay cut, probably accepting a mid-level exception. Furthermore, in a Western Conference that is just dominated by young, hyper-athletic teams like the Thunder and Spurs, banking on this veteran core to stay healthy, that is a massive gamble. That leads us into Section 5, the dark horse contenders. While Cleveland and Golden State are eating up all the headlines, we absolutely cannot ignore the powerhouses lurking in the shadows right now. First up, the Miami Heat. The pros are pretty obvious here. A return to South Beach and that famed Pat Riley culture where LeBron won his first 2 rings. The massive draw, though? The chance to pair up with 2-time MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo, who Miami recently acquired. But here's the crucial question. Could they actually coexist? That's the big con. Giannis thrives going downhill in transition, right? While LeBron, especially at this stage of his career, prefers to methodically control the half-court game. We saw Giannis and Damian Lillard sputter a bit in Milwaukee, so would this pairing face a similar playstyle clash? It's a totally fair question. Then we have the Minnesota Timberwolves. On paper, honestly, this might be the most championship-ready roster available. They recently traded for LaMelo Ball, and LeBron has openly stated he's a massive fan of Anthony Edwards. With Rudy Gobert anchoring the defense, LeBron could just step right in as a primary playmaker. However, the drawbacks are pretty significant. Moving from Hollywood to Minneapolis, that's a massive cultural shift. Plus, with Edwards, Ball, and Gobert already commanding $126 million against the cap, the financial constraints are incredibly severe. And finally, the Denver Nuggets. From a pure basketball perspective, pairing LeBron with Nikola Jokic would instantly, and I mean instantly, create the greatest passing duo in NBA history. It's a veteran team, and they are ready to win right now. But again, Denver isn't exactly a traditional glamour market, and making the money actually work with Jokic and Aaron Gordon's contracts, that would require some absolute financial gymnastics. We're looking at all these neutrally, and you just can't deny that the math for Denver is tough. Which brings us to our final section, Part 6, the King's final decision. So we've weighed the pros and cons of all these suitors, but what does LeBron himself actually want? Well, for all the impatient fans and totally stressed out league executives, LeBron did offer a little bit of reassurance during a recent recording of his podcast at Fanatics Fest. He told the crowd, "I won't hold you guys up too much longer." So he knows the entire basketball world is holding its breath waiting on him. More importantly, though, he actually laid out his exact criteria for his next team. He said he's looking for an organization that shares his model, practices championship habits every single day, and, quote, trusts the process more than anything. Now, really quick caveat here, the exact moment he said trusting the process, the internet completely exploded thinking he was heading to Philly to play with Joel Embiid. But LeBron quickly jumped in and shut that rumor down. He meant it philosophically, guys, not literally. He wants a team culturally aligned with his own relentless pursuit of winning. Which ultimately leaves us right here. Cleveland offers that perfect storybook ending. Golden State offers a truly legendary pairing. And Miami, Minnesota, and Denver, they offer distinct, heavy-hitting championship formulas. A $76 billion TV deal, the entire NBA schedule, and the complete balance of basketball power all hang in the balance. When you weigh the evidence, the geography, the money, and the massive legacies at stake, where will the king actually take his talents for his final chapter? I want you to take a look at the facts we've laid out today and really let that question sink in. Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer, and keep learning.